8 ADHD symptoms that no one told you about. Huge boobs. I mean some serious honkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some honkeros. Massive dahoonkabahunkaloo. Big old ton honker cougars. Even bigger bahana hog who's humongoloid anola gongus. Basically, you have massive tits if you have ADHD.
Read the 7th one. Anola hagongus.
Even bigger bonk hana hoogs. I'll show it.
That sounds like a Hawaiian word. Humongous hungalo hanalo hunga. Yeah.
Stop trying, please.
Holy shit.
Humongous hongalong.
Evelyn, I didn't know you had ADHD.
I don't officially, but I've been saying this for a while now, and like Claire's starting to get annoyed at me because I'm like, dude, I think I have ADHD, and she's like, yeah, shut the fuck up, you probably do. So, and like,
why is she being so aggressive about it?
Well, because I always mention it, and I'm always like, I think I have I think I have attention problems, and like I want to. Actually, that's one of my goals for spring break, is I want to get tested. I have looked into it. It's harder. It's not harder. Woman, female, those identifying, I guess, they're like less likely to get diagnosed early on, kind of like autism or Asperger's. So I don't know. Like it never came out as like me having attention problems. It was like me doing outbursts. So like as a kid, I never raised my hand. Whenever we had like parent teacher conferences, they would always be like, Evelyn's a great student. She's super smart. She just needs to hold it in. And like, I never raised my hand because
needs to hold it in. That sounds like you're having, like you're an obnoxious kid and you talk too much.
Thanks.
Like you hold it in. More like Evelyn needs to let it out.
Well, yeah, but
let loose.
Like what?
Raise those hands.
I just didn't raise my hand, and like I was also the smart kid, so like I got answers before everyone else. So it's like all right, everyone, what's 8 times 6? And like I'd be like 48, and like it becomes a problem when you're a teacher and you're like trying to initiate conversation with all the other students who like don't actually get it.
I see. Like you would talk but not raise your hand. I thought you would just like completely be silent in class. You're having actual outbursts where you're like saying the answer without anyone calling on you. Pretty much. That's different. Okay, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, hold it in.
Yeah.
Reel it back.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you still do that?
Now I have anxiety. So
you have the opposite problem.
It's a lot. It's a different situation now. But I still find myself like getting distracted really easily. I follow this account that's ADHD memes, and there's too many times where I'm like, I kind of relate to this real hard. I lose things really easy. I like lose my phone on my person all the fucking time. Yeah. I lost a mask on the way to town, and then the very next day I lost my vape on the way to town. Yeah.
The generator?
Yes. But it was almost.
Did you recover it?
No. Oh. I walked back and I couldn't find it, and I was like, who the fuck took a vape from the floor?
We should get one and so we can vape while we do this. I feel like that'd be a nice release.
Like I asked one of my coworkers, because like I told them, I was like, oh, I'm like back to smoking cigarettes, and like I just really need a vape. And one of them was like, "Oh, you can borrow mine right now." And I was like, "Thank you, bless you." So I like took it to the fridge, and I like huffed. I huffed heavy, and then I
Oh,
brought it back to her, and I was like, "Dude, thank you so much."
I really needed
Like
that.
a real homie shit. It's because I've given her mine before,
Yeah.
and
She owed you one.
Yeah, I mean, not that she owed me one. It's just like we're friends enough to where it's okay. And I was like, hey, like the next time you go out to go get your own, because they don't have a car, so they get someone, or like when a friend visits, they ask them to pass by a place and
Yeah.
they buy it for them. And I said, the next time like your friend goes out, can you spot me like two, please, and then I'll pay you back. And her boyfriend.
2 generators.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's how many I bought last time.
Yeah, and they lasted like a whole quarter.
Yeah,
And we were all sharing them too.
yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
And
Pretty economical.
I was just like, can you please? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then her boyfriend, who shout out to Daniel, you're a real homie. He was like, oh, you can have the rest of mine. And I was like, really, please. And I was like, oh, it's about to run out, isn't it? And he's like, well, yeah. And he let me take it, and I was forever grateful for that. I
Bless his heart.
I think it was like 2 days ago or something. There was like a nice sunlight coming in through the drapes between the blinds in my room.
Yeah.
And I just like, I was a fucking smoke machine in there, and I just wanted to see the smoke like passing through the rays and the sun. And I took a fucking photo, and I'm gonna show it to you right now, wherever my phone is.
Is this from the same session where that one Instagram photo came from?
Which one?
It's just like you in your room with like a streak of sunlight on your face. Oh, before I forget, I have 2 thoughts. Okay, one, aren't vape stores and head shops in California no longer going to start selling vape-related materials?
They already don't.
They already don't?
That's the photo I took.
Hazy.
Hazy. I
So
liked it a lot.
How do you get a generator if they're not selling them anymore?
Like I said, they're the closest. So yeah, like I said, their friend like comes from a different town, so they like pass by a different town and they get it from that place. I think the nearest place is like in Atascadero or Paso Robles.
Okay.
Kind
of a pain.
Because I remember the shop where we went to when I did get those.
Yeah.
I went there again like a week and a half ago or something. And
Out.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, dude, we don't sell it in store anymore." And I was like,
Oh, God.
and
What
and
the
I was
fuck are
like,
we
"Do you
gonna
know
do?"
do you know the closest place?" And he's like, "Oh, the closest like wherever." And I was like, "Oh, I can totally bike there." Lol.
Hey,
and I
we're
really hope.
we're going on a road trip soon. We should just like make a pit stop.
I was gonna ask, can
Let's
we
do
please?
that. Let's do that.
I'm gonna buy like 3, dude. Maybe,
Yeah.
depending on how much it costs over there. But yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. And
I
like,
had one more thing to say. Like, why not just like, why can't we just smoke cigs in our living room? What are we doing? Why can't we just do that?
I kind of already do.
You kind of already do? Okay.
What
okay.
I'll do is I sit. Okay, so I don't technically, but what I used to do is I would sit on this armrest, and then I would like huff and then like blow out the door, but like still keep the ashtray on this side.
And when Hank does it, he'll smoke outside but keep the ashtray inside, so he still has to ash that stinky shit in the living room. What are we doing here? I can smell it in my room. Like, you're not. What are we? We're not even like preventing anything at that point.
Why he does it like that is because I guess that's like the easiest way to hide it in case like maintenance does come by, because that's what he's mostly worried about.
Because that happens so often.
More than you think, because you don't smoke as much as we do.
Have you seen people walk by?
Well, like, they do maintenance like a good amount of times over here, especially like when it's windy. They'll like clean up around there. You can hear them like leaf blowing outside sometimes.
I hear that.
Yeah. So like I don't know. I never hide it when like our neighbors pass by, I'm like, oh fuck no, like this is
Yeah,
your neighbor.
I don't give a shit if the neighbors see.
Quiet as shit.
But
Smoke cigarettes.
I want to say I don't care if the stinky cigarette shit is being ashed inside. I'm all for smoking in the living room with like the door open. I think it's funny that I didn't know what he was going for. I thought he was like trying to prevent smoke from getting inside, but he's literally bringing the cigarette in and out. I get it a little bit more now, but
yeah.
Still, I don't think a maintenance person is going to flip out or do anything. Like, I'm pretty sure the ant exterminator guy has been in our house, and ashtray was definitely full, and there was a bubbler on the table. But I could be imagining that. He's had to come over a couple times now, so.
Yeah. By the way, there was like
ants.
a little ant trail in my bathroom, and I took care of it because I'm not a pussy. He immediately
What did you do?
I cleaned my bathroom. I like cleaned the sink. There's like a couple right now, but I put the spray in the bathroom so I can like spray the trail that they have.
What spray did you use?
Just like glass cleaner. Like
okay.
Literally anything can kill them. And like sometimes you can even just use air fresheners, so you're making your bathroom smell nice and you're killing them. Hacks.
Life hacks.
It's called living in an impoverished in poor in poor houses where like that kind of shit happens. Man, I remember when we used to have like a mouse problem. That was really funny. There used to be a mice problem in the Sweet office, actually. Fun fact. Like we had it was before I became like a full officer that they had like a small rat problem, and it was funny because one of my friends was like, she told me about this story where she like stayed there overnight because, you know, engineers, especially like Sweet officers who really push on their mental health. She was staying after overnight, and she like heard the rats in there, and she like slept on top of the table instead of like on the floor.
Nice.
And I was like, oh boy.
I remember when we had a mouse problem at my house in Ohio. Like the pitter patter of the feet, their little feets in the attic above where I slept would keep me up at night. Sometimes.
Ratatouille, man.
But we murked those guys. We just put a couple peanut butter traps up there and snapped their necks, and
you'd probably fall for that if you were a rat. You like peanut butter? Probably.
Yeah.
Would you fall for that now?
Maybe. If the trap was elaborate enough. Yeah, I'd probably end up with my neck snapped.
Cut. Were those the two stories you wanted to talk about?
Oh, no. Should I get into it?
Yeah, might as well.
Welcome to the Evelyn and Anthony Power Hour.
Oh, shit. What's up?
We forgot to do our introductions.
What's up, faggots? Hello. This is...
My name is Evelyn.
My name is Tony.
And you're watching the Evelyn and Anthony Power Hour.
You're not watching anything. This is the second time you've done this.
And you're listening to the Evelyn and Anthony Power Hour.
All right. Oh, you put this in notes.
Yeah, I had notes written down, very loose ones. Yeah, I struggled today in the gym. I was like really thinking about how I wanted to tell this story, and I was thinking about even if I should.
Oh.
But I'm gonna.
Let it be fluid.
Because, you know, it's rare you experience something or have a story that so perfectly captures the character of somebody, and I think this story captures like all of my major flaws extremely well.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I'll get into it. Let me check my notes real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to chime in whenever you want.
I'm gonna let you run this one mostly.
Okay.
Because I feel like I usually run other pods.
Sure. So the story starts where any horrible story starts, in my text messages with my sister.
Oh no.
So Rhiannon texted me on what day? What day? Let me see.
You're scrolling a lot.
Just a little bit. I mean, we had a long conversation. Rhiannon texted me Thursday night, 8:29 p.m. Are you looking forward to finally getting a stimmy? Stimmy is, of course, in reference to the stimulus checks, the third round of stimulus checks. And I did not think I was going to get one. So when she sent me this, I was elated. I was so excited. If you look at my text messages, you can see I'm typing all in capital letters.
Wait, bitch.
I'm fucking
yes.
excited. I'm typing yeses and yes with several S's and A's.
I think I remember that. You mentioned it after a gym.
I mentioned it to you. Yeah. She said, Rhiannon said, are you looking forward? I was like, you mean I get this one? Yep. Yes. Adult dependents are getting them this time. $1,400. $1,400. And she said, in my experience, they get deposited pretty quickly. So you might even get it this weekend. I was fucking psyched. Okay. And even AOC dropped a little post. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that? Let's see. What's the second line here? Dependents now get checks. Hello, students and disabled fam. That means you. I'm a dependent and I'm a student. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to definitely get this shit this time. Mm-hmm. It's in the bag. Well, and you know me. We talked about this in the last episode. If you look at me too long, I will fall in love. I will plan our entire lives together. I got word that I'm getting $1,400 dropped in my bank account this weekend. And I start thinking about all the things I'm going to do with it. I'm like, I'm going to buy a bike. I'm going to treat my friends to nice dinners. I'm going to take my girlfriend out. I had all these plans. I'm going to take like zip car trips to the beach. It's going to be fucking awesome. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all this money. I should like save half of it. I was psyched. I had a plan. I was a man with a plan. And, you know, another thing about me is when I know I'm about to get money or I know I'm making money, I will spend like a retard.
Yep, you will.
I will spend like a retard.
Will.
And
Anthony has a money problem, everyone.
That was Thursday night. That weekend.
It is now Sunday.
I was a man who was expecting $1,400 dropped in his checking account. And I was spending like a man who was expecting $1,400 in his checking account.
Anthony.
Me at breakfast on Saturday morning. Yeah, let me get the linguiça sausage with eggs. Let me get a English muffin with jam on that. Let me get the carrot cake for dessert. Let me get bottomless coffee. I was spending like crazy. I was like, let me get 2 coffees from Kin. Let me get that matcha latte. Let me, you know, our friend Carly White's commissioned art for us. I guess it's not technically commissioned because she said she was going to do it for free. But I gave her money on Venmo anyways because I was like, fuck it. I'm getting $1,400.
Oh my God.
Let me do something nice for the let me do something nice for my friend. So this weekend I spent like over $100 of money that I thought I was going to get. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. You know, major character flaw number 1, I am garbage with money. Mm-hmm. I'm terrible with finances, and I don't have a job. No money's coming in. Money is just constantly going out.
That's something we kind of relate on because I'm also bad with money, and that's why I always convert my tips into 20s because I don't touch those 20s at all.
Yeah, you have a pretty fat stack now. Pretty impressive.
480.
Don't touch that. So I'm spending like a moron.
Yes.
Like I'm spending like I think I have like real cheese. Like I have nothing.
The mouse.
I'm just like
running for that trap.
I'm just banking on this $1,400 to hit this weekend. Like I'm positive it's going to happen. And also I'm telling like all my friends and shit that yeah, we're getting students, dependents, we're getting the stimmy checks this time. It's happening. I told you, I told my girlfriend, I told the book club. And yeah, book club meeting was happening. And I brought that up. I was like, are you guys excited? We're getting the $1,400 checks this time. What are you guys going to do? And Cameron was like, oh, I'm going to get a guitar. I'm going to get an amp. Like Cameron is like me. He gets psyched about this. He, you know,
I love Cameron.
He pictures his future too, I guess.
I love
I don't
Cameron
know.
so much.
I love Cameron too. But, you know, I was getting him excited too. And then I think Amanda was like, are you sure? I think dependents' parents are going to get the checks. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. My sister said we're going to get them. And AOC tweeted or posted something on Instagram that vaguely alleged to us getting the checks. I think that's what's going to happen here, right? And they're like, I don't know. And then we kind of like got off the subject for a minute. And then my sister texted me during the book club meeting. Let me see if I can find that. She sent me a link to the IRS's website. Mm-hmm. And it's like some sort of tool where you can find out when the stimulus will hit your account.
Yes.
So I put in my information and I get this picture. What does that say, Evelyn?
We're unable to provide the status of your payment right now because we don't have enough information yet, or you're not eligible for a payment.
Indeed. I was like, yeah, there's a glitch in the system, right? And she was like, you should be getting one this time. Did you read the FAQs? And then she hits me. And then it's looking pretty dismal at this point. And then Rhiannon hits me with the, oh, wait, maybe you won't get one, but mom and dad will get one for you because you are their dependent, ? Neither of us know what the fuck is going on here. This shit is so confusing. Let me just say that. This shit is so confusing. Do you feel that way? Figuring out who gets the stimulus checks and why?
Well, Anthony, think about what qualifies as a dependent. You can count like a 3-month-old baby as a dependent. Mm-hmm. I don't think the baby's going to get $1,400 in their bank account.
No, but I'm a student. AOC said students. This means you.
Okay.
I don't know. Rhiannon said you should be getting one this time. Read the FAQs. And they said mom and dad will get one for you because you're the dependent. I said, that's what my friends told me in book club. And she said, ugh, I'm sorry I messed it up and I got you excited. Mom and dad won't get a check. Your father makes more than the threshold. So I'm like, oh, damn. They're not going to give it to me, are they? I'm like, it's starting to click in my head. And all the dreams are being shattered. All my plans that I made for what to do with my 1,400 going down the drain. And this is like in the middle of the book club meeting. So I start like disassociating during my own book club meeting. I'm like not saying anything for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Cameron's like playing guitar and trying to cover Weezer songs or some bullshit. Or they're like looking at luxury homes. And Rhiannon is just like sending me paragraph after paragraph trying to explain to me why I'm not going to get one. So at this point, I realize I'm fucked. I have like no money in my bank account at this point because I've blown so much of it this weekend. I have almost nothing now at this point. Like I'm a couple days away from being in debt. I'm a couple days away from owing my bank money because of my...
Do you need help?
I'll be okay. That's what parents are for. But I'm a couple days away from owing money to my bank because I have like subscription services. You know, some of it's shit I don't need. Like I have a Splice subscription. I don't need that. I canceled that. But I mean, there's other subscription services that I need, like Adobe. Like I need Adobe to edit PDFs and do school shit. So yeah, money is like continuously going out and not coming in. So guess what I did today? Applied to a lot of jobs. Just applied to jobs, which we can talk about later. But as any Anthony story goes, it gets worse.
Oh,
it gets worse, but for different reasons. So I'm disassociating during my book club meeting, not talking, just being antisocial.
Are you actually, or are you just zoning out and you're...
Listen, I don't know what disassociating is. I mean, I do, but I don't know.
What were you experiencing? How'd you feel?
Not good, but doesn't matter. What happens next is, so I was getting ready for bed, and when I get ready for bed, I take like whatever fucking garbage jewelry I have for the day off, and I'll like put it in my closet. I'll take like my necklace off, my stupid cross bracelet, and like my watches.
Last night?
And last night, yes.
Ooh.
So I go for the watch, and there's nothing on my wrist. So I am like, that's strange. I know I had this on yesterday, and at least I think I had it on this morning. And that day I was walking around town, basically running errands. I walked about 8 miles yesterday, just around town. I went to like the hardware store to buy shit to hang up Carly's picture with. I went to an antique store just to check it out. I went just all around downtown, and I couldn't even like properly remember all the steps I took if I needed to retrace my steps.
Yeah.
Which is what you do, which is what you should do if you lose something. So I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm gonna just like tear apart my room right now and look for this shit, because the watch is let me tell you about the watch.
Oh no.
It belongs to my father, and my father got it from his grandfather.
Oh no.
Who is dead. Homie is 6 feet under. He died of, I don't know, brain cancer or something. Some kind of cancer, irreconcilable differences. This watch is priceless. It belonged to my grandfather. It's probably like 50 years old at this point. And my father doesn't even know I have it. I stole the watch from my father. I took it from his office because I'm a kleptomaniac. Character flaw, huge character flaw coming up. I steal things. This is one of the reasons why Evelyn and I get along so well, is because we're both kleptomaniacs. Evelyn steals from stores and corporations, which I respect. I steal from my parents. I've stolen money from my parents to buy drugs because I'm a drug addict, and I steal their clothes, their jewelry, stuff like that. So I lost my father's watch, his priceless watch that he got from his father. I have no idea how much it's worth. It's probably thousands of dollars, but it doesn't matter because it's priceless. It belonged to his father. And I lost it. I'm tearing apart my room looking for this watch. And I'm having a full-blown panic attack at this point. I was up for an hour and a half last night till about 3:30 a.m. I tore apart my room, looked through every drawer several times. I looked through my clothes that I wore that day that I was wearing the watch. Came down here. I was like looking through the garbage. Whatever came out of my wrist, came off of my wrist while I was like cooking or throwing something away. Checked the sink. I checked basically everywhere. All the seat cushions and all that stuff. I don't know if you heard me last night rummaging around. I'm sorry if you did. But
No,
I was like, I was going through it.
Yeah.
I was having a panic attack. I was wearing my Fitbit at the time too. And I looked back at the data and there was a huge spike. There's a huge spike around like 3 o'clock a.m. Oh, so I'm thinking about all the shit that I did that day and where I could have possibly fucked up and lost it. And here's the thing, like today we're in final season. I don't really have the time to go back and retrace my steps and call all these stores and revisit them and see if they even have lost and founds. So I'm like, oh, holy shit, I'm fucked. Like if I lost it on that walk, it's gone forever. Like there's
I lost
a slim chance that it might be in a lost and found somewhere.
I lost a vape during COVID and it was still taken off the floor. Like they're
yeah,
definitely gonna snatch that fucking watch.
There are some Vendrils in Slow.
Yes, sir.
And we are 2 of them because we steal.
Yeah.
You don't really steal anymore. I still steal. Where was I?
Can't find it. It's 3 a.m.
3:30 a.m. rolls around. Thank fucking God this happened. I don't know how I knew to check in here, but I looked in one of my boots, the boots that I was wearing those days, and I stuck my hand in all the way up to the toe, and I feel a piece of metal. My watch somehow got into my boot, and I put the shoe tree in it, and it crammed it all the way to the toe. So it was like really lodged in there. And the story ends well. I found the watch. I'm wearing it right now.
That's the watch.
This is it.
Oh,
SEMA.
it's pretty old timey. Yeah.
It's a beautiful timepiece. The battery doesn't work. None of my batteries in my watches work, but
Whoa, Anthony.
it's a priceless like family piece.
Hey, Anthony.
My father doesn't even know I have it, and I was like, how the fuck am I how am I going to have this conversation when he finds out, when he like looks for it and he doesn't see it? He's going to call me because he knows I like his shit. He knows I like to jack his style because my dad's a stylish man. The Rosses are stylish people. And I was just like freaking out about how I was going to have this conversation. I was going to start texting people. Thank God I didn't start texting people. I was going to text you and Hank like, hey, if you guys see a watch anywhere, can you please let me know? I was going to text my girlfriend like, did I leave anything at your house? Please let me know if you find a watch. And I was going to text my sister, who
Worst
time and time again, I have gone through how she's one of the worst people to talk to if you have anxiety. She's one of the worst. Also, I came to find she's one of the worst people to talk about finances and government plans, because she doesn't know what the fuck is going on with those either. So, lesson learned again. I was this close to texting my sister, what the fuck do I do, Rhiannon? I'm freaking out.
Probably
and Rhiannon is not the
decision.
person to go to. That's pretty much it.
Do you want my opinion now?
Sure, yeah. You have thoughts about how much of a horrible person I am?
Okay, first, real quick. Whenever you feel like you need to text Rhiannon, just text me.
Okay.
Like,
You're a better sister than Rhiannon.
I'm not saying that. I just like,
It's provably true.
sure.
You have not held me down and spit on my face before.
I remember that. That's really funny.
It's a miracle I don't have a spit kink. Maybe I do. I've never been spat on before. Isn't that how you get kinks? Like when you're young, something happens to you that's a little weird, rewires your brain a little bit. My sister would hold me down. My sister was big, and she was 4 years older than me. She's built like a wrestler. She should have wrestled. She's like huge, monstrous calves and like big, broad shoulders. She's built like a man. And she would beat me up and hold me down and like spit on my face, but like in a torturous way. Like she would get a nice like cock-a-loogie going so it's thick and viscous, and would let it hang over my face and slowly descend onto my face. Isn't that fucked up? Isn't that weird? That's not normal. Sisters aren't supposed to do stuff like that. That's like brother shit.
I once sat on my
Rhiannon
brother.
exhibits more traits of toxic masculinity than I do. Rhiannon is like toxically.
Maybe that's why you are the way you are. You're very gentle. You're
Yeah.
a soft creature.
I'm a soft ass boy. Oh my god. My mouth is dry.
Dry.
You had thoughts though? Keep going.
I also
Please.
have my grandfather's watch, and it
Yeah.
also doesn't work. And it's in my room.
But it was probably given to you.
No, I also took it.
Kleptomania gang.
For
Okay.
those who are like, what the fuck, Evelyn stole. I used to steal from Campus Market, stolen from the Ave, stolen from the Jamba Juice at Poly Canyon. But I've never stolen from like, I don't know, like an actual store. Like I've never like
Campus stores are not real
Shoplift.
stores.
um
Another
yeah,
story of
they
how
don't
I
really
knew
count.
Evelyn was a legend is when she showed up to my dorm freshman year with 5 bags of Haribo sour sketty. And just
you're
plopped it
like,
in my hands.
How did you get these? And I was like, I stole all of them.
And I thought it was fucking sick. Here we
I-
are, 4
I
years
would-
later.
Yeah, I stole a lot for you, Anthony.
It was awesome. That's because you're a real fucking homie. Real friends steal for their friends.
I would risk. I mean, I didn't really care about anything at that time, but like I risked my time at Cal Poly for my friends, and I would do it again. Not really. Everything's closed down. They also have better cameras and shit. I saw a newspaper article that was like they're gonna start cutting down more on shoplifters, and I was like, not
Yeah.
gonna stop me.
I
And
remember
then
that.
I stopped shoplifting after that. I've stolen whole ass meals from Campus Market. Like I'll order a food.
Chick-fil-A.
No, not just. Oh my god, I remember first year when like I would hang out at Alex's place. Won't say a last name. I'll just say the first name. And his roommates had gotten high, and I brought them back like so much Chick-fil-A. This is also at the time where I had my parachute pants.
Chick-fil-A for like 6 people.
Kind of like 4 bags.
That's so bitching.
It was when I had my parachute pants, and like those pockets are really deep, and it's so easy to hide shit in that pocket. Oh my god, dude! Like I would pull out like 3 Chick-fil-A bags out of one pocket, and then like two other bags from the left side, and then like 2 like boxes of chicken nuggets or some shit, and like, oh my god, Chick-fil-A is homophobic, but it's so fire. Holy fuck.
My sister eats at Chick-fil-A. She like has a defense now for eating at Chick-fil-A.
What's her defense?
I don't remember, but
Probably not good enough.
it's probably not great. No.
You know what?
Maybe I don't even know if Chick-fil-A even still donates to
probably do.
anti-LGBTQIA.
The owners are definitely still Christian.
Yeah. That's for
God-fearing.
sure.
I kind of want to go grab that watch now, but I'll do it after so you can see it. But
Okay.
yeah. And then I'm sorry that you like had to go through that panic attack without like, letting us know. We're here for you for that kind of stuff.
It's better that way. I mean, I found it.
It's not actually. It's definitely not.
I don't know. I usually when I'm having a panic attack, I keep it to myself. I'll usually only report to you when I have one too. I think you
and our 30 listeners now.
30.
Sometimes.
Dude, nobody listened to the last one. It was like our best one yet.
Oh, the last one was
I don't
so
care
fucking
though.
funny.
It makes me
so
feel comfortable that no one's listening. I can just like tell stories about my epic fuck ups, and who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit.
I do.
You do? That's good. That's why we started this, because we care about each other.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Evelyn and Anthony Power Hour, where Anthony has a meltdown after every episode, and Evelyn finds therapy in talking to no one. Yeah, here we are. Anthony just stopped shaking his leg to let out a fat sigh.
Yeah.
All right?
I'm starting to think I have anxiety problems. Because...
That's like me saying, I think I have attention problems.
Yeah.
No, you have
I'm
anxiety, Anthony.
I'm starting to think...
Anthony, you have anxiety.
That having like 3 panic... Like, never mind. The things I do
probably
are not
having
normal.
A panic attack every time you fly.
I'm starting to have a realization is that the things that happen to me are not always normal, and that there's actually a fix for it. Like, I can get medicated.
Not just that. There's like habits that you can learn to minimize your anxiety and your panic attacks. Like I don't take medication anymore because I stopped when I shouldn't have. But like now I do different things. I exercise. I'm eating healthier. And like fuck those doctors that immediately attribute all of your problems to your weight. That is not always the fucking case. And once you lose that weight, those problems will still fucking be there unless you get a real fucking doctor that overlooks like, oh, you must be obese, so this is why you don't have a leg. Like, no, you're fucking stupid. But I meditate. I do things in moderation. I know when to say no now. Like for example, we had a book club meeting yesterday, and I couldn't. Like, I probably could have, and like hated it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hate book club meetings. So I said, respectfully, no thank you. And I had a great time. I got high and watched a Studio Ghibli
Oh, you
movie.
did smoke weed. I smelled reefer. I was like, did Evelyn just? Yeah, Evelyn
I took
just.
a picture of me in my bathroom with a joint and like my face care on, and I was gonna post it on my close friends and be like self-care.
Hell yeah.
Self-care.
God, nothing looks cooler than like a lit cigarette or a lit joint in somebody's mouth.
Oh, I also took a photo of
Hands
myself
free.
with a cigarette.
God, that
last
looks
night.
awesome.
I went through 2. Yeah, bitch.
Went through 2 joints yesterday.
The 2 leftover ones, and I went through 2 cigarettes.
Okay. Self-care. I was watching a Beatles video yesterday, and Ringo, it was like at the start of a recording session, Ringo lit his cigarette in his mouth, and then they just like did a take of a song and just smoked the cigarette hands-free, drumming at the same time.
I can't do that.
Man, that is a level of cool, I don't think. Well, maybe we can reach that someday.
Every time I do that, I somehow get smoke in my eye and it hurts.
Yeah. There's probably a technique to it. I gotta practice.
Second story?
I gotta practice doing drugs. Second story? The second story was the watch story.
What was the first one?
My reckless spending habits. Me thinking I was gonna get $1,400 doing nothing.
Oh,
Nope.
Anthony.
Apparently you have to earn money. So I applied for a job today that I'm actually kind of psyched about.
Which
that I hope I
jobs?
get.
It was the hotel one, right?
No, there's I applied to a new one today. I should call them. I don't really want that job. It's boring, but there's one that was actually kind of exciting to me. Ernie Ball Music, which is like a guitar manufacturer and guitar string manufacturer. They do all kinds of gear stuff. There's a location in Slow where they manufacture guitars, and they're looking for a person to do wiring, soldering, and like part of the manufacturing of guitars. And I have experience soldering and wiring and looking at wiring diagrams. So I was like, okay, there's a chance I could do
Dude, that
this.
sounds so cool.
So I applied. I'll call them tomorrow. It probably won't happen because they're looking for full-time positions, but I don't know.
You can't do that.
I could do it.
Anthony,
I can't do it. I can't.
As someone who did a full-time job, like, I had a panic attack at work and then quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you just can't do it.
I could do part-time. I don't know. I have all my classes in the morning, so hopefully they could do something where I could work in the afternoon. But I would need a bike to work there. I don't think it's kind of far. It's like a 4.5 mile ride down Higuera. I don't know. I could get one.
Isn't that even farther than like the beach?
No.
You said 4.5 hour.
Miles.
Oh, miles.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
So it'd be like a 9-mile round trip.
Is that bad?
Yeah. We'll see. I'll call tomorrow.
I do a mile and a half just walking. I walk to work sometimes. It's always nice. I stopped using my bike a little bit less. And I'm like wondering about that. Like why? I'm like starting to get weirdly fearful. Also, cause like
You had that major accident that fucked your life up for like a couple weeks.
did it fuck up my life?
I don't know. I mean, you talked about it a lot. You had a massive scar on your wrist that like didn't heal for a long time. You had to get your bike fixed, which probably costed a pretty penny.
Oh
so,
yeah,
I don't know.
Caused quite a bit.
There's probably some mild PTSD
Scar check.
there. Scar check. Yeah,
This
that's a fat fucking scar.
This has faded quite a bit, but it's still there.
To describe it, Evelyn, there's like a chunk where like Evelyn scraped her thumb, and then there's like a line going down from like
It's a pretty thick line.
a
too.
thick ass line going
It's
down
like-
her wrist. That's like, how long is that? It's like 2 inches long.
That's not okay.
It's pretty bad looking.
Lengthwise, yes.
Yeah,
Widthwise,
it's like a couple millimeters.
yeah.
It's pretty thick.
It's not. It's like not a third. It's about like 1/4 of an inch. And then also my elbow. on my other arm.
Yeah, she's got like a quarter-size scar on her elbow,
Yeah,
too.
like exactly a quarter.
It's not
This
pretty.
one's fading pretty nicely, though.
That's good.
I scar pretty easy, not gonna lie. Like
Yeah.
right next to this one, I got cut by a pizza box. Not from Woodstocks, from Round Table. It's almost been a year since I worked at Round Table,
Yeah.
dude. It'll be a year in... It's March already, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a year in... I don't even remember.
Couple weeks, probably.
I think May when I started. I think March. I don't know. Fucking know. No, because I waited a while before I started working at Round Table again. Cause
You had that chicken gutting job, didn't you? Or turkey gutting job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I don't know. I guess California peeps would know that. I don't know. Do you have foster farms in Ohio?
Not that I know of. I can look it up, though.
So Foster Farms is a food processing company, and they sell like chicken, turkey, probably some other stuff. I'm just not super familiar with all of their products. But I worked in a turkey plant. Is that a yes or no?
It's only West Coast.
Yeah. I worked in a turkey plant, and so you can work different things. You could be in the like meat handling or in packaging or other stuff like that. And I worked like actually handling the meat, and my job, the specific job I applied for was gutting. So basically you would take out the organs. And this is very interesting about like working like within the industry, not just as like the head, because like for those who don't know, I'm studying industrial engineering, and like that's an office job. That's like you're working with the billboards, you're working with the head person. You're never inside like doing the shit. And being there, it gave a better understanding to like how processes work and what like how many people you'd need and like who's heading what happens here and there. So I would change up my job, but we worked in this like gymnasium. It was definitely like the size of a gym, but you wouldn't know because there were so many like machines around.
Mm-hmm.
And what it was is there was a conveyor belt, not a conveyor belt, but it was like a moving, like hanging, like what are the things you put your like clothes on?
I have no idea. Like at a dry cleaner's?
Well, what's a hook thing that you put your clothes on? Like the actual thing.
The hanger?
Yeah. So it's like a conveyor belt of hangers, and on those hangers were turkeys. So
it's like the dry cleaners, but with turkeys.
And like when you enter the place, they check your temperature, and you'd like walk in. You have like your boots already worn on. You have like clothes that you don't really care about, or else you'll get blood on them. You go in. All of these people are like in low-income households. A lot of them, like, they're either white trash, Mexicans who like probably don't know how to speak English, and that's all they could do.
These are your coworkers?
Yeah, people, like people from India who also like couldn't really speak English. There's a lot of Portuguese people actually. I don't understand Portuguese, but it has like a component to where it sounds like Spanish, to where you're like, oh, like I kind of know what that is, but not enough to like know. So they'd all be like on these benches, like outside school benches, you know, like with the flat table and then the attached bench seats on the side. Everyone's there. And then at a certain time, you have to clock in. I remember my card. My card, the photo I had for my card was so cute. And you'd like put on um, put on your like front covers, tie it around. You had your apron. You had these like blue things that would go over your sleeves. And then you had one layer of white gloves and then another blue glove that went on top of it. You always had to have your hair up and like with those like showering caps to like cover your hair. And then everyone had their like mask on. And then depending on the job, you would get more stuff on you. So like if you were like cutting, you got like this like plastic tube that went over your arm in case you like slipped and cut your like arm. And then you also wear these like chain link gloves to where if you did accidentally cut your arm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Those chain link things were like kind of heavy too. But when you entered, you had to like wash your boots because you know it's food. You're food handling.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
It's got to be super sterile.
Yeah. Then we'd all do these stretches.
Really?
Because you're like there for hours, dude. Like
Mm-hmm.
just standing.
Mm-hmm.
And like depending on what you were doing, you like really working your muscles. And I mean, no one wants a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So
Do group stretches.
they would move you around. So starting off, I did not immediately start doing gutting. They had me washing. So I literally could draw it for you. Like I only worked there for 1 month. Like exactly a month, and it's still ingrained in my head. There was so like not even before you entered the actual building, you could see we had trucks that would come in, and basically we would only stay there until all the trucks were done. So whether that was like, I think we always started at 8 a.m. So whether that was until 3 o'clock, until 12 o'clock, and they've told me before they once stayed until 8 o'clock. So like almost 12 hours or something with like a couple breaks. And thank God I never got to there because I was still doing classes. I was still an officer.
Yeah.
I hated myself apparently. You could see the trucks come in, and outside before you entered the building, you could see them hanging the turkeys and killing them to like knock them out. And like, man, you really think about your food when you see that, dude. I'm not vegan. Fuck that noise.
Did it make you want to become vegan?
Nope. I still love chicken, dude. I don't give a shit. But
Respect.
definitely like seeing those guys like, and I've talked to Hank about this actually. Like, you wonder, do those people like become desensitized and all that stuff? I don't know. I don't know.
Let's get them on the pod.
They
Let's
probably
talk
love
about
their
them.
families, you know? I don't know. But like you could see them.
They might murder for their families.
I would murder for my family. If you don't murder for your family, you don't have to. Whatever. Sorry.
You're a pussy.
You're a pussy. You don't love your family. No. Like, we're all different. People show their love in different ways. So like you would see that happening, and then going in, like they already pluck most of the feathers.
I was going to ask, like, what stage are you receiving them?
I received them. So like there's like a line, the like conveyor thing goes in like this big U. In like a big S inside of the little area that I'm in, and then more on the other side is where the packaging comes in, but it's still in one like huge gym thing.
Yeah. So
in that area where you're like handling it, so it's usually dudes who do like the heavy lifting. They're dudes that like, cause they come on a conveyor belt. They hoist up the turkeys onto the hook. You have someone that like pumps a hole where like the anus is, so you could like go inside.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the people who are like there's like these two usually women, and there's these like robot gun things that like are like clamps, and they like cut a bone, which is usually where like the tail would be, so they like cut that part to open it even more. There are at least like 5 people like scooping out guts, and you got to be careful because there's the I think the appendix where all the gross stuff is. If you're not careful enough, it'll explode. And
Yeah.
I've had it explode on my face before. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so what stage are you getting them? Like the guts are still in them. They have been defeathered.
So
Is the blood drained from them?
definitely not.
No.
Like,
Okay, you're getting them pretty early.
yeah, when you're scooping in the organs or you're scooping them out, it's like all blood. Like every time you take out
Was
your
that your
glove,
job?
it's like all red.
That was your job.
That was the job I applied for.
Okay.
They didn't
The
start me out
organ
there.
scooper. What an intense job, Evelyn.
Thanks.
That's pretty death grips.
Yeah. I learned a lot. So like
Damn.
you got to scoop it out, and you got to do it in a specific way to where all of the organs would just be on the side, because if you pulled it out too much, they would all fall at the same time because they were only attached by like one thing. Well, I learned a lot about anatomy too.
I bet.
And like I first like starting off, I remember my first day, they had me just stand there, like watch. And like if Cal Poly taught me anything, learn by doing. So whenever the like main lady would turn away, one of the older ladies would be like, and like they thought the thing is in a place like that, you never know what language the person will be speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So every time anyone talked to me, if it were the head people, they'd ask me like Spanish or English or like something else.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I can do both. And like they'd always talk to me in English because I would say I can do both.
In English.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
with everyone else, it would always be silence. No one ever like actually talked to me. And I was too shy to like practice Spanish. So I remember this one older lady that I like grew attached to because she reminded me of my aunt that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But she like would show me how to do it. And I was like, all right, you're my mom in this place now.
You're my work mom.
Yes. You looked at me in a certain way, and now I'm attached to you. So like,
Been there.
but yeah, you had to do it in a specific way to where like you wouldn't like pull out all the organs. They still needed it. It would go around. No one would touch it. It would just, yeah. There was like another silver, like just thing to put things in. So like it would be like, that's a good example. It would just be like, so yeah, you need a place to hold those robot arms, right? Because there's like a robot thing that would like come down so you could like cut something, like cut a bone. Like there was a silver, I don't know why I keep saying silver. There's like a metal connection to the entire system that didn't move with the turkeys. It would stay there, and that's where you like put knives or like put scissors, like depending on your job, the items would be there.
Sure.
So you don't
yeah.
have to go get it, and it would be there.
Mm-hmm.
But there were always like connecting hoses to them, so they'd be like spraying the turkeys like as they're going around. Oh, it was so loud, Anthony. It was so loud. You had to have earplugs the entire time you were in there, and anytime someone talked to you, they'd be yelling. There were people who would come by for like inspections like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like always, like they did samples, so they would take out a turkey at a certain like level of like being worked on to like test it like just making sure that your product was okay. You don't want to like, yeah, you don't
Quality
want
assurance people.
Yeah, and like just health checkups,
The
making
suits.
sure those turkeys are okay. There was so it goes around. There's like a little room in the middle where like the head people would be in. I never went in there, but it would go around. There'd be the lady doing the checks, and then there was another. There's like a staircase. You know how like in Home Depot you have those rolling staircases?
Yeah, yeah.
So there was one that was there. That it didn't go up that high, just like to the level of the turkeys, because they would like be straight and then raise up and then come back down again.
Yeah.
And there's a lady there who would like pull out the organs and made sure. No, she wouldn't pull them all out. She took the heart and something else. Not the lungs. It was the heart and like, what was it? Something else.
Liver, gallbladder.
Like another
Lungs.
part of the thing. So yeah.
Another random organ.
And then it would come down again. And this is a job that I mostly did. You would grab the stomach, and you had your like knives and your little placeholders. You'd split it in half, scoop out the rocks, because turkeys, like, I don't know.
They eat rocks.
They ate
to help
rocks.
digest their food, right?
Is it?
I think so.
I
I think
think
there's
it's
birds
like-
that eat pebbles,
Oh,
To
well,
help
these were like
digest their food.
rocks, dude.
like jagged rocks.
Not like jagged rocks, but they were like good sized rocks that would like, oh man, if you got like, you
I'm gonna
could
look that up.
feel how many rocks were in the stomach just by holding it in your hand. Because you would squeeze it and it would like, wouldn't even be squishy. It would just be like solid. And you'd like split it open with your knife and then out came like fucking huge things.
Hey, check it out. Wild turkeys pick up and swallow gravel and small stones to aid in their digestion of hard food items. Generally, they pick up the stones a few at a time. I don't think I need to keep going. That's just a fun fact.
Fun fact.
Interesting. There you go.
Yeah, but we would split it in half, scoop out all the rocks and like stuff that was inside, and then put it in the chute. So like on that silver like part of the thing, there was like a chute, and it would like go to a certain part of the building, and I'll touch on that later because I also worked with those. You'd cut it in half, and then there's these dudes that would like, oh, it was so interesting because like they would go down, right, and then there's like a silver thing that was like lined up to where the heads would go in, and the machine thing would pull it back up, and because of that like silver, like I keep saying silver like it fucking matters, there are like 2 spires coming out on the bottom, and the turkey's necks would go along that spire, and as the like conveyor belt pulled them back up, it would like pull out the heads. So like
Spinal cord and all.
No.
No. Just pop their head off.
Have you seen a turkey that didn't
No.
have its spine, Anthony?
No.
Think about that.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
It would just like,
I imagine when you decapitate a human, like the spine comes off too.
doesn't have to.
I know.
Yeah.
But I figured it would like take out more
Think
shit.
about the turkey that you get when you're like at Thanksgiving. It doesn't have a head. It has all its feathers out. It has a huge hole where like the tail would be, so you can put stuff inside. Like those are the things we took off.
Okay.
So it didn't take off the spinal cord because that's like a big structure of the turkey, so
Okay.
you can like, you know, cook it and shit.
That's true.
But yeah, it would like pull off the heads.
Pop the head off like a little Lego
And like
guy.
they would pile up on this thing. Like sometimes they get stuck. And like after that like stomach splitting area, we would have a hose and you would like spray the heads off. And it was very interesting to like look at.
Spray the heads off.
Because they would get stuck on the little head removal area. But it was interesting to me because like you didn't need a robot for that. You didn't need a human for that. It just like weird mechanics, you know? It comes down, the head gets stuck on this like metal thing. The conveyor belt pulls it back up and
Rips
comes
it
off the head, yeah. Then there's another thing, and then someone would wash them again, and then they would be raised up higher, and that's where some people would like put in the plastic things. There are these plastic things in the turkeys that like kind of keep its structure. When you cook it, you like remove it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then packaging. Yeah.
Sounds like a fascinating job. I would love to tour a meat packing place.
No, you don't.
I would love to see it.
You could probably handle it.
I could handle it. I'm not that squeamish.
Yeah. I definitely learned I wasn't.
I don't give a fuck about turkeys.
Yeah. Those stomachs, the heart. Oh, it was the liver. It was the liver.
It was the liver.
There's like this little machine that was like off to the side. But basically like the heart, the liver, and the stomachs were put into chutes and they'd like come back out and then they'd be iced in this like huge like moving thing like a bingo rolling wheel. But it was full of ice.
What were they used for? Why did they keep the guts?
We packaged them in a weird way. So there was like this weird machine thing and it would move in a circle and it would never stop. You had to keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we had these carts and it was either one full of hearts, one full of liver, and one full of the stomachs. And there was the like moving thing. There was one hole and like the moving wheel basically had its slots. So think of like a spinning wheel and like a Wheel of Fortune kind of thing. But it's on a table. There's one hole. And obviously, if it's moving, you put something in one of those slots, it moves, and eventually it falls down that hole. So basically, us three, so like one for hearts, one for liver, one for stomach, would put stuff in the slots, would put one of each of the things in the slot, and they'd move around and into the hole. And we're not talking like simple little tempo. It was like going like constant. Like you had to like always be moving your hands. And for me, I was okay with it because when I know what I'm doing, I can move quick. And it was mindless. Like I would just disassociate and like stare at the middle and just be like moving my hands. Like grabbing a stomach, throwing it in there, throwing it in this one. And I would just like disassociate for like an hour and a half until lunch. Or until we had to leave. But it was always so fucking cold because it was like buried in ice. And like they just wanted to keep it fresh. But that machine thing, it would fall down the hole and it would be sealed up in these like paper bags. And then they'd all go into this huge cart. And I still don't know what they were for. So it was just like a paper bag of a heart, a liver, and a stomach. And it was just in this like huge cart, also full of ice. Like someone else would be shoveling in ice after like ever so many packages. I think it was for like dog food, possibly.
Maybe they're made into McDonald's chicken nuggets. Turkey nuggets.
Maybe.
Probably dog food.
And
Going in a can somewhere.
Yeah. There was another area where you would like actually cut up a turkey, and I also got to do that. So like, you know, turkey legs in like Disneyland?
No.
You've never had that?
Never been to Disneyland.
Wow.
I don't live here.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that was so privileged. Privileged California type bullshit. But there are turkey legs in like Disneyland, and we're talking like a huge turkey legs.
Okay, like a cartoon.
Not like cartoon, but
Like
it
a
was
big
definitely
old
like
mutton chop.
like you would fucking love to see that shit. If you like didn't care about your diet at all, you'd be like,
Was it like a cartoonishly large piece of meat on a bone? Okay, I'm gonna look it up. What is it?
not cartoonishly large, but definitely larger than you think.
Disneyland turkey legs?
Yes. Look that shit up. I've had one before, bruh. Oh my god. Such a rich taste. Like, I don't know what the fuck they put in Disneyland turkeys, but it was
What
really
a perfect looking piece of meat.
Did you see it? Yeah. Thick. Thick as fuck. It's pretty good.
What about them?
I would cut those. So I would like
Okay.
cut it off certain turkeys and then
Damn,
like
that looks good.
cut off certain pieces of meat. So like turkey breast, I would cut that off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, a lot of knives would be used. And I also got to do that. So there's like so many hidden rooms in that factory. And there was like, you had to walk around all of the big machines.
What's the name of the factory? I want to see this place. I want to see if I can find a picture of the
It's
inside.
in Turlock.
Turlock?
So
And
Turlock Foster Farms meat packing.
how do you spell Turlock?
Tur lock.
Turlock Foster's?
Yeah.
Foster Farms, Turlock, California.
Yeah.
Is this the place?
That's where I applied. Yeah. You could, like, if you can picture little Evelyn sitting on that, like, concrete slab.
Little
outside.
20-year-old Evelyn, so young and so naive
Yep.
to the sins of this world.
Uh-huh. Oh, dude. So this article that you found, accident claims life of foster farms worker. Someone died there after I quit.
I was going to ask.
Actually,
like,
no.
were
The
there any
same
cool...
day I quit,
Yeah?
someone died.
I was going to ask if there are any cool work-related injuries while you were there in your month-long stint.
Well, I had a lot of back problems. The thing is,
That's
just
not
like
cool.
you were always so protected. They had like the plastic sleeves. They had like the metal gloves. But yeah, there was a lady there that would sharpening knives, and I remember I was there sharpening knives with her.
Yeah.
She had like a grinding stone. Oh, she looked metal as fuck. And I liked her a lot. She was really nice to me.
Real blacksmith shit.
She'd talk to me in Spanish. And she'd like ask me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm a student. And all that.
There's so many articles coming up about the dude who died.
Yep.
I don't care. I want to see the machinery on the inside.
Oh, they'll never. I don't think they would have photos.
I don't know if it's the right location, but
Definitely not that desk thing. No desk.
you want to wrap this up, Evelyn?
I was going to ask. I don't know what time we started, so I don't know what time to stop.
We started at like 5 minutes in, so we're like...
Oh, lol.
Like 10 minutes over. We had a good run.
Yeah.
Well, we bid you guys farewell. Thanks for listening. We hope you learned something about the two of us.
Way to, like... Every time when you said that, I just recalled the poem, and I like suddenly got so pissed at you.
When I said what?
The I bid you farewell or some bullshit.
Did I say that in the poem?
I don't know. Something like
I don't
that.
think I did.
Some faggot shit.
You just don't like it when I use faggoty language like that. I bid you farewell. That's like fake poetic, like pretentious bullshit.
It's funny because you're Anthony.
I bid thee farewell. Thanks for listening. Episode 4. This is Anthony signing off with
Your mom.
your mom. Oh, God. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.